Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. Good morning, Shauna and Lane. Wonderful to see you guys here today. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. I want to say it is a wonderful Monday. It is the beginning of a new week, and so we have a new set of cards to go through. Yeah, we're going to do what we do every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck, ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. We are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are building into our own lives, and ultimately, we are changing the way our brains work, and in a way that's very positive for us. The fact of the matter is that there are lots of things in this life that are very adamant about changing the way that our brains work. And consider how our technology algorithms are specifically designed to mirror us to the point where we find that we are consistently scroll holing or doom scrolling, as it has come to be known, scrolling with no particular purpose at all, just for a dopamine hit. Well, my job is to give us the words necessary in order to get our dopamine from other places, more healthy places. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the top of the deck and say that today I am proactive. I am proactive. I take initiative and prepare for eventualities. So I am proactive. I take initiative and prepare for eventualities. Are you proactive? You are proactive. You take initiative and prepare for eventualities. I'm writing that down in the comments right now, and I encourage you guys to do the same thing as we affirm today that we are proactive and that we take initiative and we prepare for eventualities. So when we are proactive and when we take initiative and when we prepare for eventualities, we are demonstrating that rarefied trait that exists so little in this world called leadership. Leaders are people who do the doing. Leaders are people who see that there's something coming down the road and choose to prepare for it. Now, in some in some ways, we're all proactive at least a little bit in life. Like we understand how to prepare for the whatever's going to happen in our day. The fact is that just being on this wake up call is an evidence of proactivity, because we understand that life is going to go sideways a little bit, as it always does every single day. There's always something that doesn't quite go the way that we'd like it to go, and when that happens, the tools that we have prepared for ourselves inside of our own brains, these tools, these perspectives, these thoughts that our brain immediately jumps to, is going to define how we react to whatever it is that happens that we don't want or like, as opposed to just sort of having these things happen and then our brains have to figure it out on the fly. Right now, simply by affirming that we are proactive, it is this is a way for us to be proactive. It's a way for us to take that initiative and to prepare for the eventualities. Because I don't know about you, but I've lived long enough to understand that the things that I make plans for don't always go my way. And sometimes I have to pivot a little bit, and sometimes I have to sidestep. And sometimes something starts coming down the pike, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to be anywhere near when this thing comes here. I'm going to step completely out of the way of that rolling disaster right there. And so I do. So there are some things that I prepare for, some things that I just completely steer clear of. But in the same way that a farmer has to sow the field if they're going to reap the field, we also need to sow our brains with good thoughts, so that when something comes to disrupt our established patterns, aka the places that we feel comfortable, that we're able to very quickly get right back to where we were. Or if for whatever reason life changes so dramatically that we can't get right back to where we were, that at least we can still continue to have ourselves pointed in the correct direction. And so I am proactive today, and you are proactive as well, and we take initiative and prepare for eventualities. So what does it mean to take initiative? The word initiative comes from the root of initiate. When we initiate something, we intentionally make a choice. We intentionally choose. Okay, well, I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to I'm going to align myself with this concept, with this goal, whatever it may be. Taking initiative is one of the most important things that leaders do because ultimately, when there's a whole bunch of people just in a space hanging around, the first person to move becomes the leader. And so we do take initiative. We see that there's something that needs to be done, or we see that there is something that isn't how we want it to be, and then we change it. I remember that I was at a corporate leadership training, and they were basically we were talking about responsibility and how responsibility is the ability to respond. And I remember that the trainer took $100 bill and pinned it to the whiteboard and said, "Okay, who's responsible for this?" Or pinned it to the cork board, not the whiteboard, but the cork board. Said who's responsible for this? We all had a conversation about, well, who is responsible for that $100 bill? Is it the person who put it there? Is it the government for printing it? And finally, somebody just walks up and takes the $100 bill, unpins it from the cork board, and then just holds it in their hand. And they're like, okay, I'm now responsible for it because I'm currently holding it. And that was the point that the trainers were trying to get to, was that the person to move the thing is responsible for it. The person to take possession or control of it is responsible for it. That person got to keep the $100 because, as it turns out, leadership has its rewards. But it was a great example for me to understand that ultimately when we are proactive, when we take initiative, it's because we are initiating some kind of change or some kind of change of state. And so as we do that, we do prepare for eventualities. We have to have vision that's far enough to see that there are things that are coming in the future. We have to have a sufficient vision to say, okay, if we continue along this path, eventually these are some things that could potentially happen. And so let's prepare for these eventualities. Let's prepare for this potential happening. And so as we go through our day and as we go through our week, even, let's be proactive. Let's take initiative. When we see something that isn't how we want it to be, let's change it to the degree that we are able to. And when we see something that's a long way off, but it's coming our direction, let's prepare for that something. Even if it's unlikely that it's going to affect us, let's still prepare ourselves to be affected by it, just in case we are. And in doing so, we will be the leaders of our lives. We will be the captains of our own ships. And when the people around us see that we are leading our lives well, they also will be interested in our perspectives more so than they would if we were just getting bowled over by the waves of life. All right, so I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Let's go have a wonderful proactive week. Good morning again to Lane and Shauna. Good morning, Dan, coming in from Buford. Wonderful to see you here today. I want to say thank you everybody for being here, as well as the folks who are watching on Twitch today. Good to see you, and also the folks on YouTube. Drop me a comment. I will say hello to you. Twitch is set that only followers can comment because I was getting so much spam over there. But if you follow me on Twitch, you can comment, and I will be happy to include you in the broadcast. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you so much for being here. I love you, care about you, appreciate you, think you're amazing, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, let's be proactive about our days, our weeks, and our lives. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9. Until then, aloha from paradise.